So I am what some people label as a medical intuitive. I do work what people call as a psychic medium. I don't really like those terms because honestly, what I believe I do is I'm an energy interpreter. I see energy, I feel energy, I sense it, I hear it, and my nervous system has just the capacity to interpret into language. And what I've done is I've been able to kind of work with clients throughout the years in identifying patterns. And how this started out for me was I was working at a chiropractor for about 8 years, and we saw a very large amount of clients every single day, 200 plus patients some days. And so that was a lot of people. And being able to see auras, or what we call the energy field around individuals. This picture here on the right is probably the closest thing that I've found that is similar to what I see with my eyes. Although colors that I see around people are very rarely this bright and vibrant. So I'm going to explain a little bit about how this came about with seeing auras. So I would be seeing and helping these chiropractic patients and putting my hands on them, throughout the day, getting them ready for their chiropractic adjustments. And I began to notice patterns in people's energy fields, in the colors that were around them, in the emotions that I felt in their body, in the things I would hear in my head, like the word headache or migraine, or in just the way that I would feel and know that something was going on with this individual. And it kind of was what I call my building phase for my psychic dictionary. And I began to see correlations between emotional patterns and habits and physical issues. Women had a lot of issues with speaking up and being able to be heard and say no and have boundaries. And interestingly enough, they had a specific color around that, a certain portion of the body that was a specific hue. And they would normally also struggle with neck pain. So it wasn't always the case. Everyone was different. So if you ever have picked up a book on aura colors or dream dictionaries or what different things mean, those are general books that have been written by someone who is tapped into what I call the language of energy and interpreting energy in its form of symbols. And so my journey with 8 years of working with this chiropractor was developing a very strong system of symbols, feelings, emotions, and a dictionary, so to speak, to understand illness from its root cause, whether it's emotional or whether it was a physical thing going on, a habit, a diet pattern that they were having, and being able to pick up things if they had car accidents, seeing car accidents in my mind's eye, and then feeling a hip issue or a broken leg, feeling it on my own body, and then having affirmation from these clients that this is exactly what went on with them. So this is how I developed this program. It was really helping people to get to the root cause of a pattern or a habit or a health pain or issue, and being able to use many different tools in the holistic world to help address them, as well as them working with their main healthcare practitioners. And so when this program was birthed, we had a lot of clients that I was working with that had gone through intense transformation. And these people are amazing, amazing souls, because they had two things in common versus the other people that weren't transforming that I was working with. Number one is they were dedicated to learning more about themselves and self-awareness. And number two, they were dedicated to flipping the script and taking their mindset from being victimized by their life and their circumstances to feeling empowered and wanting to take control of their lives. So those are the two factors and the two things that will bring you success in this journey. The desire to know yourself better, to know yourself on an energetic level, an intuitive level, a physical level, and just to really deep dive more into your patterns and who you are, because that's where the power lies, in your empowerment, as well as allowing yourself to flip the script and changing from, man, life happens to me. That whole mindset, we're going to get rid of that. Instead of life happens to me all the time, all these things, we're going to change this mindset to life happens through me. I create my life. I create my health with these tools and the things I learn along the way. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the blessings and the burden of medical intuition. So the blessing of it is I've been able to help a lot of people. The burden more so is when I see things that are there in certain individuals, sometimes if there's not a willingness to change, I cannot do anything to help them. I've also had individuals come to me asking very hard questions like do I have cancer and things like that. And just to let you guys know up front, I am unable to diagnose. That is not something that is in my wheelhouse. It's something that is completely illegal for me to do. And I don't see diagnoses. I may see if someone has diabetes, for example, I might see a little bit of inflammation in the pancreas. I see energy. I see what the energy is doing, because energy doesn't necessarily have a diagnosis. If you are struggling with kidney issues, you might have inflammation I would see around your energy field, and you may have emotion that I feel that goes along with it. So what I do is I interpret energy and explain it to you a little bit of what I'm feeling in the body, and that gives us an assessment and markers to point you in the direction of some tools, some modalities, and some healing services that will help you along your way. So the burden is I can't fix everyone, and I can't help everyone even though I'd like to, and I can't help you to see what I see. And that was the challenge with creating this program. I want everyone to be able to see their own energy field. I want them to be able to sense it so that they can heal themselves. They can find answers just within themselves. And so without having to be able to gift you the spiritual sight of being able to see auras, I created this program to be basically give you other ways to sense and experience it yourself. And I want to talk more about this before we go into introducing the other facilitators of this program that can help you along the way. But I want to talk about the science of this, because I love working with people who are very grounded, scientific individuals, who maybe this stuff with seeing auras seems really out there and crazy. Because honestly, it could seem that way. Absolutely, I can experience that, and I can completely understand that. But also to help people who maybe are understanding this and completely relate, and they're like, oh, I believe in auras. Someone read my aura one time and they were right on what my color is and all that stuff. There is science that is proving the connection between the mind and the body, energy, and how energy continues to either be coherent in the body or incoherent and creates disease over time, and patterns that we see that affect the physical body. So think about it like this before I go on to the next slide. If you go to a chiropractor, they're adjusting your bones, be able to release any interference within your spinal cord and your nervous system to the rest of your body so that your body can naturally heal itself. So if you have a neck issue and there's a bone out of place, it can be pushing pressure on nerves that can be affecting that muscle tissue and cause pain. So they're helping with the interference of spine that's interfering with your nervous system. An acupuncturist will be looking at your nervous system from an energy pathway standpoint. And that's where, when you get an acupuncture done, whether you've had it or not, they will look at where is their energy flow happening in the body and where is it not happening. And they will assist with techniques and acupuncture needles to reestablish a balance of energy flow in the body. And that is how acupuncture treats what we call disease, because they believe that disruption in chi or energy in the body causes and creates disease, and not just emotionally, but physically as well. And this is what I have seen and noticed. And it makes a lot of sense to me for those who created this ancient art form of Chinese medicine. Those people, I believe, had also the gift of spiritual sight, were able to see. They were able to see the meridian pathways and the energy flow in the body and be able to map out a system. So if you're thinking about chiropractic is getting rid of spinal interference, acupuncture is getting rid of nervous system or meridian chi flow interference, and working with the energy of the aura. And this program, we're going to be not only working with the physical body in yourself, but we're going to be talking about information interference. Where are you disconnected from yourself? That intuitive part of yourself that is connected to your higher God, or whatever you want to call your higher power. What about yourself connected to your physical body? Because you could be very connected intuitively or connected to your spirituality, but feel very disconnected from your physical body. So we're looking at overall balance in the information of the energy of the body. Now, that may seem a little bit nebulous when we talk about energy, but we're going to talk it into a very grounded perspective here. And this is where I'm going to get a little bit sciencey for a second, but don't worry, I'm not going to test you on this. This isn't anything you have to remember, but I want to explain it in terms so you can understand a little bit better. They're proving energy in the form that I see it is in existence. So this is where we talk about what science can see. They may not be able to see auras, but science is working with what they're labeling as biophotons. Basically, light is a packets of energy, and light can transmit information. What's really fascinating about this is that the surface of your cell, the cell walls, you have thousands of millions of cells all over your body. The surface of the cell wall has at least over 100,000 biophoton emissions per second. So what that means is this is not the chemicals. We know that cells put out chemicals to interact and they communicate with other cells. This is beyond chemicals. This is light. This is light as packets of information communicating in that way. And so up here on the left side, we have an image of what a biophoton looks like. We have over here, this middle picture here, this is where they were mapping out the meridian points that were they're having some excess energy flow on this woman. This is the kidney meridian here up the leg. So this is a thermography picture. Over here, we have the metamorphosis of a pupa into a butterfly here, and it didn't come out of the cocoon at the end, but they're showing as this physical matter, the matter of this pupa transformed. Look at all the light emissions coming out. So this being, this little beautiful little caterpillar was putting out light. And so science is proving that we emit light through ourselves. Our entire body emits light. Over here is another thermography picture of this gentleman here. And when there is coherence around the body, or I would see, how I see is the aura, when there's balance in the aura, there's balance in the body's chemical and physical functions and structure normally. When there's imbalance, I see different colors and different shapes to the colors. And this thermography picture depicts what I may see in the aura around his throat here and around the left side of him under his rib cage, which probably would depict there's something going on in the liver. So what's really cool is science is now being able to look at this from a more thermography standpoint. And so it's very fascinating. And then here is just a Kirlian photography picture of a cheeseburger. So you can see if they take pictures with a specific camera, you can see the light emissions coming off of the burger bun and the lettuce here. And then over here is a hand, which is really, really cool, seeing the energy and the light that comes off of the human hand. So if anybody is skeptical about auras, about energy, this is something that, we are proving this is something that's real. The capacity to see this, it depends on the person's awareness, but this is what we're working with in this program. We're working on finding overall balance in your energy field so that you can find harmony in your mind, body, and spirit.